Hey guys, and welcome to another project on building with the pack. Now today's video is absolutely jam-packed. Not only do we build something really awesome, but we have a massive storm come through our property that halts the progress. We're cooking my favorite meal on the outdoor fire and heaps more. So let's get straight into it. What do you prefer, Martina? Do you prefer this? Or do you prefer it like this, Martina? Bit better, isn't it? Now we've got 3 dogs that love the water, but we don't live that close to the water, so what I'm going to do is build them a pool. Now we've got this perfect little spot just outside of our fenced section of our property that I think would be a lovely place to put in a little dog pool, and then when the water drains out of here we can drain it straight down into our orchard. It's going to be a bit of work carting the rocks that I want to use for it because they're a bit of a way away, but I know that these dogs will appreciate it. And hey, I might even swim in there as well. Now we've got to go to the beach in about an hour for dinner, so the plan is dig the hole tonight, and then tomorrow we'll get into the pool construction. Let's get cracking. Now I've got to come clean before I get started that I'm getting a bit of help on this one. I went out and bought myself a brand new hoe. Whew! Look at that bad boy. Long handle and everything. And being a Friday, we've got a little bit of help from our mate, St. Michael. Cheers, let's get into it. Nothing's any different. Right now feels the same. I wonder why. I wish I G'day guys, and welcome to another backyard project on building with the pack. And as mentioned, this is a really fun one. A lot happened along the way. The pool came out really well and the dogs love it. Quick pose here for Insta. Righto, mate. You got a heap of digging to do, so let's get back to it. Martina, come on.
Now, if you ever find yourself in a survival situation, that there is packed with vitamins and protein and might just save your life. But for now, I'll drink my own urine.
So the main reason I want to build this little pool is, as you can see, the dogs get really hot here. It's super hot for like 6 or 7 months of the year. And they don't have a pool, and we don't live that close to any kind of water source for them to go for a swim. So I thought, build them a little pool out here, and they can cool down after their walk out in the paddock. Come on, Martina. Let's go get you in the aircon. Come on. Go, puppy.
Is he gone? Perfect. Time to do some digging of my own. And we're making some progress now. God, it's so much faster when I do it. Uh-oh. What was that? Oh, he's coming back. Quick. This way.
Put him under.
Yeah, he's a bloody good apprentice, little Archie. And he loves a bit of digging. Probably about as much as he would love you to subscribe to the channel. Well, that was a mission. Got there though, we got the outline of it done. It's about a foot deep all the way around. 2 meters by 2 meters there, almost 2 meters there, probably 1.8 and 1.5. Good hole. I'm going to dig more tomorrow. I'm going to get this end down. I want a bit of a deep end so that big boy Archie over there can just stand up. But yeah, tell you what, St. Michael wasn't actually that much help in the end. It was very dehydrating, and better have some water now before we head to the beach. But I'll see you tomorrow. Morning guys, back at it again today. We're going to keep digging, get the deep end, shallow end going on, and then we'll get into putting the concrete in for the pool.
And unfortunately, a bit of a recurring theme in this video is me talking about timelines and schedules that have no chance of being met.
Now that's the pool dug, so I've got it in the shape that I want. The only other digging I've got to do is to dig a trench from this corner, which is going to be the lowest point of the pool, through under the fence and into the orchard area, so that when we drain the pool, we're watering the trees at the same time. But for now, it's time to make some lunch.
And on today's menu, we're cooking some delicious ribs. So you start off by preheating your oven to 180 degrees Celsius. Add a drizzle of olive oil and a pinch of salt, and another pinch of salt. Okay, 3 pinches of salt. This is, whoa, 4. Wow, okay. Some pepper, some paprika, and some garlic powder. That's a lot of salt. Whew. Rub it all in, flip it over, and repeat the same thing on the other side. Bloody beautiful. Straight on the fire. You just want to sear it on both sides. We're not cooking it through on the fire. We're just getting it some nice char flavour. And we're back in the kitchen. And we're going to add some veggies. So first we've got sweet potato, which caramelizes beautifully in the oven. Chop that into cubes and add it to the baking tray, and then do the same thing with some carrots. Then we just repeat the same spices and olive oil that we use for the rub on the veggies. Throw it in the oven for 1.5 to 2 hours, and what better way to kill that time than with a couple of beers.
And you have a delicious plate of ribs, sweet potato, and carrots. Yum! The worst part about this meal is that you wish you cooked more. Nice big lunch, couple of beers. You know what time it is. Oh, siesta time. Guess it's time to get back to work. That was a tough siesta to get up from, I'll tell you that much. But we're here now. Archie's here, mate. You'll help me dig, won't you? And we're going to get this trench through. And then we're done with digging, finally, and then we can get on to the construction of the pool itself and the water features that go with it. Let's get into it. Woo. Well, digging this section is a bit of a nightmare, so I'm gonna go get the hose and soak it, let it soften up a bit. While we do that, I'll show you a pile of rubble that we've got on this property that we're gonna start bringing some down, so we'll cut a few loads of that down. That's gonna help us make the base of the pool. Let's do it. And we've got the two boys
Rusty and Archie helping me with this. Look at them, perfect sidekicks. So this pile of building rubble was dumped on our property a long time before we came here. And I figured building this pool is a pretty good chance, not only for me to use up some of this rubble, but for me to have to mix less concrete and less cement, which is some epic winning, as Charlie Sheen would say.
Well, that looks much softer. Archie's a fan of the hole already. Hey? That last bit of water needs about 5 more minutes for it to soak all the way through. But this time, while we wait, let's do something a bit more fun. No, Archie, mate, watch out. Archie, you're on the range. Lost forever. And now we'll have a quick game of doggy driving range. Archie, what's the ball? Come on.
And the biggest challenge in this game is getting the ball back after you've hit it for them.
Oh. Oh, let's finish this last bit of digging, shall we? So far, so good. There it is. Water's out. Well, that's good news because I am sick of digging. So what we'll do is we'll run the pipe, put the drainage pipe in, backfill the trench so it stays there, and we'll be ready to go for tomorrow for building the pool. Right, so we got the pipe in. Now let's go backfill the trench. Got it all backfilled, stones back in place. That's it for today. See you in the morning.
And we're ready to rock and roll on what I thought was going to be the moving day for this project. So I've set the plug and the drainage pipe to the height that I want. Now I'm just going to go around and put in some height markers all the way around, which will help me get a reference for height and level when I'm pouring the concrete for the walls. But as you'll notice from the light change at the end of this time lapse, there is a fairly ominous storm that's rolling in that I don't quite notice.
So I've got the drainage hole and plug set at the height I want, and we've laid out all of the slabs of concrete ready to mix and pour, but we have a massive storm. You can hear that thunder. That's just about to come down, so we might have to hold off for now. Yeah, it's pretty dark out there. So if that passes over pretty quick, I'll do the pour tonight. If not, we'll have to do it in the morning. I think we might be pouring tomorrow. We've got a fair bit of water coming down. I tell you what, at least the pool works. Have a look at this. Disappeared. It's a lot of water. Here's another view of the invisible pool. Pool works. Well, the rain seems to have stopped. We can finally get back to making some progress on the dog's pool. Now, to help with pouring the concrete tomorrow, I'm going to use this scrap wire that I found up in that building rubble pile at the top of the property, and I'm going to use it to help me reinforce the walls. So what I'm going to do is cut it into shorter sections, make a U with it, and then poke it into the wall to give the concrete something to bind to, just until it dries. Now we've got 60 or 70 of them to do, so let's get cracking. Set it up. Last one. Tell you what, that was a proper wrist workout and not the good kind.
Funny bugger, aren't you? Anyway, this wire work should allow me to put the concrete in for the walls without needing any formwork or any kind of support. The hope is that the wire acts as a bit of a support for the concrete while it's setting.
All right, we're about as ready as we can be to pour concrete tomorrow. We've got all our little wire supports in there, so they're all poked in all the way around, as you can see. I also collected a bunch of stones yesterday, so we've got them all out there ready to go. So they're just going to form a border around the top edge of the pool once all the concrete's done. So fingers crossed we can put them in tomorrow as well as do the concrete. If not, it'll be tomorrow morning pouring the conc and Sunday morning putting in the stone. I'll see you guys tomorrow for a coffee. Well, it's finally time to pour the concrete in the pool. We've got our trusty cement mixer here. Let's get into it.
And we're finally doing it. We're pouring the concrete for the dog pool. And what was it, 7, 8 days I was talking about doing this the following day? Anyway, we were a bit held up. We got sidetracked a bit, but we're here now. So let's enjoy mixing concrete in a wheelbarrow while it lasts.
Well, we got there in the end. We've got the base of the pool done. The GoPro did cut out there right at the very end, but basically all I did after the GoPro cut out was mix one more cement batch and put that over the top, and then I've just been over it a few times with the trowel just to smooth it right off. But it's come up well. You probably can't tell from the video, but the fall is good. It's all falling down to that corner, over to the drain. So that's come up pretty good too. And yeah, we'll probably leave that for tomorrow. Maybe I can do the walls, but if not, probably 2 days. And then I can start putting the concrete on the walls, put the stonework around the edge, and she'll be ready to go. Now, while we're waiting for that concrete to dry off so I can do the walls on the pool, I'm going to go and do a stonework water feature over in the other part of the garden. So if you haven't seen that video, because that'll be up before this one, go check it out. What's up, guys? Slab set, nice and solid. So today we're going to get going on the walls. I'm not 100% sure really how this is all going to work with the walls. I mean, if I was going to do this properly, I'd put formwork up, but I don't want to. So I'm pretty sure if I make a stiff enough mix, I should just be able to throw it in, smooth it off, and just pack it in bit by bit. But let's see how we go. We'll start off with the walls. Hopefully, I'm not sure how it's going to work, whether I'm going to put the stonework in today on top of the wet concrete or get the height of the walls up to a certain level and then leave it to set overnight, and then tomorrow I can put the stonework and fill in the last little bit. I'm not really sure, but we'll see how we go. You can see Martina loves it already. She's going to love it even more when it's full of water because she is a massive water dog. Go on, Martina, let's go. Up. So we've got the walls in now. All we have to do is run over it all with a damp cloth. And with that, the walls are done. Now again, should be the title of my channel, the overheating GoPro, but I don't know how much of that I got on film. I guess we'll find out when it comes to editing, but the walls are done. So we have nice good slope to it. That allowed me not to have to use formwork. I could just push the concrete up into there. We smoothed it off, gave it a bit of a wet down with a damp cloth, but so far looks pretty good. Now all we're going to do tomorrow is we're going to get those stones that we've got out the back there and we're going to line them around the border. They will be part of the actual watertight section, so I will mix up some cement, so when I'm laying them down they'll be laying on a bed of cement on top of this top of the wall that I've got, and the joins between them will also be cemented so that the water can come up a little bit higher, not too far, but maybe a couple of inches above where it is now. So yeah, tomorrow should be the fun day. I'll make sure the GoPro's in the shade and the batteries are charged and the SIM card's empty, because tomorrow it'll transform from concrete into something that looks a lot cooler. See you then.
Whoa, promising that the GoPro won't overheat. Talk about mouth writing checks. But we're here now, we finally made it, and it's time to lay the stonework. I've been looking forward to this for about 3 weeks. So let's get into it. And here we are laying the foundation rock for this project. Very nice. Looking back at the footage, I kind of wish I'd saved that now for a staircase or something somewhere. It's a pretty good rock. Anyway, it's mudded in. That ship has well and truly sailed.
So this is where we've got to across the back wall. It's looking pretty good so far. I have paused though, because standing back there looking at it, I thought there's something in this corner that I probably should have already done when I was laying all that concrete that I didn't, but would actually not just look good, but actually be pretty useful. So I'll let you see what it is as I build along. I should still be able to do it, but let's see. That's the problem when you just start jobs and figure it out along the way. No plans. But yes, that is something I probably should have thought of. Another on-the-fly variation is we're going to leave that little gap in between those three rocks. You'll see why when it's finished. Time to give it the test. Oh, it's actually joy. It's going to be spot on when it's full of water. Whew. Not sure I'm going to be able to get up now. Oh, if you haven't already guessed, the pool's actually going to be probably mostly for me. Started out as a dog pool. When I started digging it, I was like, if I'm going to do it, I might as well make it for everyone. So there we go. Bloody perfect. Just need to do the water feature tomorrow. Probably one more mix of mud. Do the water feature over in that corner. You'll see what that's for. First time I'm lying here and it's full of water. You can probably guess. Yeah, good progress today. Happy with it. We're just going to stay here a while now. I'm going to go have a shower. So here we are, the final day of construction on this thing. Feels like I've been doing it for a month, but all we need to do now is go and get a few more rocks to set up the water fountain that's going to be used to fill up the pool, and should look pretty cool at the same time. So we'll go get more rocks, we'll get one more mix of cement I reckon, and we'll get this set up and then we'll be good to go.
And so here I am testing out the durability of my brand new wheelbarrow, because as we all know, the best time to break something is while you still have the receipt.
Rusty helped me collect the rocks. We've got them. I've mixed up the mud. Fingers crossed I don't have to do another one of them. And here's the idea for the water fountain. So I'm just going to use a bit of hose and kind of place it in there in the gap of the rocks, have another rock over the top so it's kind of hidden, and then build up the rocks behind so that goes through the rocks, all mudded in, and then that hose will run over to where I can connect it to the hose from the house.
And that feeling of laying the last stone was about as satisfying as the feeling of mixing the last barrow of cement. And here I'm trenching in the hose that runs to the water feature over to the gate where I can reach it with the hose from the house.
And we're all done. Okay, mate. That's it. We finished. That's all the mud, all the rock work. I've gone and chucked in all of that dirt all the way around the edge, especially on this side, just because when it floods in this top paddock, the water runs off it, it runs through this channel and then through our property. So I want to make sure this is up nice and high. Obviously the water can go in, that's the whole point of it, but I don't want all the debris and leaf litter that comes off that paddock to end up in the pool. But yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty happy with it so far. Done a quick test of the fountain, works well. So yeah, one more sleep and we'll fill this bad boy up. Going to bed now.
Would you look at that? You'd be forgiven for mistaking it for the town square fountain, somewhere in the Italian Riviera. No, I'm just joking. Michelangelo is quite a few rungs above me on the ladder of stonework ability. But we'll get there, so this will do us just fine for now.
And there you have it. We're finally ready to test the pool that felt like it took forever. I will paint it as well. I've filled it up now just to give it a go because I've been way too impatient with this. But I bought some pool paint today, some waterproof sealant paint. But I read the packet and it said you've got to apply numerous coats over 7 days. So that went out the window. I'm going to use it today. We'll drain it, we'll water the orchard, and once it's dried off, I'll give it a coat with that paint. But thanks for watching, guys. I hope you had as much fun watching it as I did building it. Now there's only one thing left to do. That's for me to test it and then for the dogs to test it. Cheers. Just doing a bit of sussing out. Haven't quite got the tail wag of approval from Archie yet. Oh. In the water. Good girl.